Hello, everybody. I'm going to do a group critique. I like doing these a lot. It's fun to look at more than one piece together. So let's see here. Okay, so we're going to start out with Tom Hanks. He's a good one to do. Everybody loves him. So without even looking at your sketches, if I were to go about doing this, I would first look at the shape of his head. It's very rectangular. He doesn't have much hair. I think what he's wearing now is probably plugs or a piece at this point. So he has a receding hairline. He has pretty big ears. He has a big nose, a big chin, and he has very small, thin eyes. Yeah, that doesn't look natural. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. So, I think these are a good start, but they don't really look like him in particular. Yeah, and this one seems to have the head cut off. So let me look. I looked up some Tom Hanks caricatures, and it seems like people emphasize the rectangular shape and the nose. So the important thing to do with caricatures is to find a recognizable element, trace that, very common professional illustrator thing to do, and then exaggerate. So, the eyes are the window to the soul, they say. So I probably would trace his eyes and his mouth, and then go crazy from there. Give him a good, huge rectangular head. He does have a pretty big nose, and this one caught my eye. And it's whatever appeals to you, wherever your imagination goes. But definitely trace recognizable elements and then experiment from there. So I'm trying to get this link up. I clicked on it a couple times and it didn't work. Let me try another one. This one, I think, hello. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet connection. It seems to be a little slow. I don't know what's going on. Let me copy this and I'll put it into Firefox, my favorite browser that doesn't really work very well anymore either. So this one I thought was a good example, so that you can see they made his eyes like these strange little colorless slits. They gave him a huge forehead with sort of fake looking hair on top, giant ears, giant nose. But you can still totally tell that it's him. So that's what I recommend you do. The next stage is a line drawing, so you can do that in Photoshop. You can use the pen tool to trace his features, and then from there you can use the different, transform. You can do it in Illustrator, change the scale of things. Just, turn on some music and have a good time. All right, moving on. Come on. All right, so I thought this drawing right here looked a lot like Robin Williams. I think it got further away from him as you went. Like this one, I think the eyebrows are so like individually drawn. I think there's too much emphasis there. Like you might have been able to do that if you just keep the eyebrows sort of a shape with the occasional, loose piece like you did with the hair. But anything you multiply, the eye is going to zero in on it. But I thought that this one looked a lot like him right here. So let's see if you have an image here. All right. So he's another one. His chin is very easy to, he does have a big nose, a big triangle nose. He has a gigantic chin. He has a huge forehead. He's another guy who probably had plugs, when men start losing their hair, it really starts to go right here, but sometimes they have this unnatural looking forehead. So, nose, cheerful, upturned eyes, gigantic smile. Let's see. I looked up some Robin Williams caricatures. He's probably one that was done a lot or even still is. Obviously, everybody emphasized his nose. It depends on what era you're looking at. But, simplify as much as possible. This one's kind of creepy. But you get the idea, the sort of square, huge forehead. He could have gone bigger with the chin, but he decided to go big with the nose instead. And then the eyes, you can see the eyes look very much like him, and my guess is that they were probably traced. And again, professional illustrators trace every day. And you know, you could add a lot of detail. There's so much to exaggerate. It would be hard to pick where to go. But anyway, my number one suggestion to you is to trace some sort of recognizable feature like his eyes, and then from there just have fun and exaggerate like crazy. So finally, this one's tough because she is like model beautiful. And these are cartoons, and they're cute cartoons, but they don't look like her. They really don't look like her at all, and it honestly doesn't look like you looked at much reference. So I was looking at pictures of her, and one thing I noticed is she has, you know, she looks like a model. She has high cheekbones. Her eyebrows are always very well groomed and pronounced. You know, it's a real direct shape. Her nose is sharp. Her lips have a certain fullness and a specific shape. So what could you do? You know, what about her would you emphasize? I would emphasize those amazing eyebrows and her great big eyes. She has a huge chin. She has sort of a like Joker-like smile. Let me see if anybody has done a caricature of her. Yeah, there has been a few. So you can see what people have done. Yeah, this one's interesting because it sort of shows you she has those pale blue eyes without even doing them. I'm not sure her teeth are that big, but you got the idea. So trace some element of her. Isn't this wonderful? Trace some element of her and then exaggerate the rest, like I've been saying to other people. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does or does not. Bye-bye.